pursuit of continuous quality education.
Living up to DepEd's mandate of no student should be left behind.
From the home of Sarongbangi,
The land of Oragons. This is Santo Domingo National High School. School on Air.
School on Air.
A blessed morning, everyone, especially to our grade 9 students. I feel so inspired to be with you again in this another mind-enriching episode of our School on Air program. This is Ma'am Weng Balute, your radio teacher for Science 9, offering you different wavelengths to learn for varying concerns. We will be together again for a half hour to tackle a very important topic that is essential for us in adapting environmental changes. I suppose you are now at the most comfortable place where you can hear me loud and clear. Now, get your learning activity sheet or LAS in Science 9, Quarter 3, Week 6, entitled Climate Phenomena. Again, get your LAS in Science 9, Quarter 3, Week 6, having a title of Climate Phenomena. Have also with you a pen and a paper as your answer sheet. Before we start, let me reiterate again the following reminders. Read and understand thoroughly the concepts stated in your LAS, follow the instructions in the activities given, and most importantly, answer all the activities with all your honesty. Now please check whether your LAS contains 4 pages. That includes the concept study, activities to be analyzed from letters A to C, questions under evaluation, and the creating part with a given rubric for your guidance. A spark in the darkness is sometimes remarkable, right? Just like the birth of the plantitas and plantitos amidst pandemic. This is perhaps the positive effect of COVID-19. We were hooked into our home, doing nothing during lockdown. That's why we learned to love healing the earth through planting. As we go through in this episode, perhaps your eyes will be opened more in caring for our earth. For today's episode, you must be able to describe certain climatic phenomena that occur on a global level. Now, let us start learning. Climate nowadays is so unpredictable. Do you agree? Just like a woman, men would often say, "Well, I beg to disagree. Men just need to invest in reading our moves, right?" Just like in climate change, we must know how and why such changes occur. Before we proceed, let me explain what a climate change is. It is a significant shift in the mean state and event frequency of the atmosphere. Climate change is a normal component of the Earth's natural variability, and it occurs on all time and space scales. Climate change is a global phenomenon that largely impacts urban life. Rising global temperatures causes sea levels to rise, increases the number of extreme weather events such as floods, droughts, and storms, and increases the spread of tropical diseases. All this have costly impacts on cities' basic services, infrastructure, housing, and in humans' livelihoods and health. At the same time, cities are a key contributor to climate change, as urban activities are major sources of greenhouse gas emissions. Estimates suggest that cities are responsible for 75% of global carbon dioxide emissions, with transport and buildings being among the largest contributors. Now, let us go deeper in understanding how carbon dioxide increases Earth's temperature. Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas. a gas that absorbs and radiates heat. But increases in greenhouse gases have tipped the Earth's energy budget out of balance, trapping additional heat and raising Earth's average temperature. Carbon dioxide is the most important of Earth's long-lived greenhouse gases. Carbon dioxide, on the other hand, remains a gas at a wider range of atmospheric temperatures than water. Carbon dioxide molecules provide the initial greenhouse heating needed to maintain water vapor concentrations. When carbon dioxide concentrations drop, Earth cools. Some water vapor falls out of the atmosphere, and the greenhouse warming caused by water vapor drops. Likewise, when carbon dioxide concentrations rise, air temperatures go up, and more water vapor evaporates into the atmosphere, which then amplifies greenhouse heating. Rising carbon dioxide concentrations are already causing the planet to heat up. At the same time, greenhouse gases have been increasing. Average global temperatures have risen 0.8 degrees Celsius, or that is about 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit, since 1880. Figure 1 on page 1 of your last shows how carbon dioxide increases with temperature from 1964 to 2008, wherein the highest recorded carbon dioxide emission was between 2004 and 2008, at the rate of 390 part per million, or ppm, that gives a corresponding increase in temperature of about 0.63 degree Celsius. The greenhouse effect is a natural process that warms the Earth's surface. Greenhouse gases include water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, ozone, and some artificial chemicals such as chlorofluorocarbons, or the CFCs. The greenhouse effect is the trapping of heat under the atmosphere, which is a natural effect caused by greenhouse gases. However, when greenhouse gas concentrations are too high, they trap too much heat and increase the temperature on Earth, causing the enhanced greenhouse effect. On page 2 of your last, you will see figure number 2, illustrating the sequence step of greenhouse effect. It starts when the sun's radiation travels toward the Earth. About half of it is reflected or absorbed by clouds and the atmosphere. The rest reaches the Earth where it is absorbed by the ocean and land. The Earth also releases the heat back towards space. Some of this heat passes directly through the atmosphere, but most of it is captured and retained by greenhouse gases. So, that is the reason why the greater the greenhouse gases, the warmer the Earth is. The unusual rapid increase in Earth's average surface temperature over the past century primarily is called global warming. Again, this is due to the greenhouse gases released as people burn fossil fuels. So, the primary cause of global warming is the burning of fossil fuels. Some effects of global warming are hotter days, rising sea levels, more frequent and intense extreme weather events, ocean warming, and acidifying. Climate change has two cyclical events among its impacts. These are El Nino and La Nina. When you say El Nino, it is a climate pattern that describes the unusual warming of surface waters in the eastern Pacific Ocean. Severe drought and associated food insecurity, flooding, rains, and temperature rises due to El Nino are causing a wide range of health problems, including disease outbreaks, malnutrition, heat stress, and respiratory diseases. On the other hand, La Nina is a climate pattern that describes the cooling of surface ocean water along the tropical west coast of South America. La Nina causes increased rainfall, while in other regions, it causes extreme dry conditions. These climatic changes can no longer be reverted to its normal condition. But can we do something to at least control its worsening condition? Of course, yes. All we have to do is to involve ourselves seriously to climate change mitigation. Mitigating climate change is about reducing the release of greenhouse gas emissions that are warming our planet. Mitigation strategies include retrofitting buildings to make them more energy efficient, adopting renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and small hydro, helping cities develop more sustainable transport such as bus rapid transit, electric vehicles, and biofuels, and promoting more sustainable uses of land and forests. Because we are already committed to some level of climate change, responding to climate change involves two-pronged approach. This is reducing emissions of and stabilizing the levels of heat-trapping greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. This is the mitigation process. Second is adapting to the climate change, which is already in the pipeline, and this is the adaptation process. After hearing these environmental facts, do you feel responsible in healing our Earth? If yes, thank you, because this is a constructive motivation in making yourself involved in saving the Earth. At this point, you may assess your learning. Turn your last on page 3 and please get your pen and paper as your answer sheet. I'm so sorry for that. 5 items are given in exercise A for you to answer, by which you are directed to read each statement carefully and write true if the statement is correct. Otherwise, you are going to change the underlined word or words to make the statement correct. I am giving you 2 minutes for this. Are you done? Let me see if you have a good comprehension on what I have discussed. Kindly check your answers. Give 1 point for every correct response you have. Here are the correct answers. For number 1, it is true. Again, for number 1 is true. Number 2, this statement is false. Therefore, you should have modified the underlined phrase with Eastern Tropical of Pacific Ocean. Again, the answer should be Eastern Tropical of Pacific Ocean. Number 3 is true. 4 is also true. And number 5 is true. Did you get a perfect score for this part? Excellent. For part B, you are going to complete the Venn diagram given to compare and contrast La Nina and El Nino. You are going to write the identifying circumstances for El Nino on its side and for La Nina on the other side. In the area where the two ellipses intersect or overlap, you are going to write the similarities of El Nino and La Nina. Just focus on the basic characteristics of each as stated in the key concept in the last. Be able to follow this instruction. You will be given 3 points for each answer. You may start answering now. Are you finished? Now, check your answer by referring to this key concept. El Nino is characterized by unusual warming of surface waters in the eastern Pacific Ocean, while La Nina is the cooling of surface ocean water along the tropical west coast of South America. While the similarities between them are drought and flooding in different regions. Again, these similarities should be placed in between the space provided for El Nino and La Nina. Since you have 3 points for each, you will be having a total score of 9 for this part. Did you get it? Great! At this moment, read the questions carefully and exercise C. You are asked to answer each questions in 2 to 3 sentences. Express your thoughts comprehensively. I am giving you 3 minutes to compose your answer for this part. you done? Very good. Since these questions are opinionated, I will be the one to check it again. Just make it sure you clearly justify your answer so that you will earn a total of 20 points for this part. Now, evaluate further your understanding on this lesson. Still on page 3 of your LAS, you are asked to answer the following question. You will write the letter of your choice only. For number 1, which of the following is not a greenhouse gas? Again, not a greenhouse gas. A. Water vapor. B. Carbon dioxide. C. Methane. And D. Hydrogen. Pick your choice. For number 2, what is the primary cause of the overall rising trend of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? I repeat, what is the primary cause of the overall rising trend of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? A. Reforestation. B. Burning of fossil fuels. C. Exhaling more carbon dioxide. And D. None of the above. Write your answer now. Number 3. Which of the following is a climate pattern that describes the cooling of surface ocean water along the tropical west coast of South America? Again, which of the following is a climate pattern that describes the cooling of surface ocean water along the tropical west coast of South America? A. El Nino. B. La Nina. C. Global warming. And D. Greenhouse effect. Have your answer now. Number 4. Which of the following is a natural process that warms the Earth's surface? May I reiterate, which of the following is a natural process that warms the Earth's surface? A. El Nino. B. La Nina. C. Global warming. And D. Greenhouse effect. Pick your choice now. Lastly, number 5, which of the following is an unusual rapid increase in Earth's average surface temperature over the past century? A. El Nino. B. La Nina. C. Global warming. And D. Greenhouse effect. Write your choice now. Are you through? At this time, let us check your answers. Here are the correct answers for that exercise. Number 1 is letter D. Number 2 is B. 3 is B. 4 is D. And number 5 is C. Did you get it perfect? You are amazing. Now, count your total score and write it on the upper right portion of your answer sheet. I will just add to it your score in exercise C. I have noticed that some did not check, while some did not indicate the score on the paper in our previous LAS. May I remind you that following instruction is a must. To gauge your understanding, you have to show it by applying what you have learned. At this moment, you are asked to showcase your understanding on the subject matter by creating a mind map on either of the following topics, such as global warming, greenhouse effect, and La Nina and El Nino. Make sure to organize and explain your ideas. The scoring key or rubric given on page 4 will be used in assessing your mind map. Write your answers on a separate sheet of paper or in a short bond paper. May I remind you that your answer sheet will be passed tomorrow during our schedule for modules retrieval. We are about to end our episode for today. I am again thankful that you are persistent to learn. I hope you will be with me again in our next episode as we unlock the topics in physics for our fourth quarter. Again, this is Ma'am Weng Balute, your teacher broadcast for Science 9, saying, what you do will make a difference. Keep safe, always follow health protocols, and together, let us heal our land. Goodbye!